Alright, 7 dwarfs and something? What's it called?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay.
Start.
I know, but it has to get lined up.
Start.
Snow White and the... That's funny. 7 dwarfs! This is the pre-Disney version, most likely. Or just not the Disney version. Do not start to play the record or read the script until directed to do so. Okay. Educational film strips. Where's the date? Oh, 19... Is there an L in there? MCMLX?
Yep.
So 1966. Start the record or script with the following picture. A signal on the record will tell you when to advance from one picture to the next.
There's a V.
We don't have the script or whatever. Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs from the series Children's Fairy Tales. Illustrated by... Well, we don't have the narrated, so...
Is it on it?
Once, long ago, a queen sat at her window, watching the snow fall as she sewed.
Oh, that's a pretty picture.
The needle pricked her finger. Looking at the blood upon the snow... She's inside. She wished for a daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony. It's a wood. The wish was answered when Snow White was born, but the queen soon died. Well, that's cheerful. There it is. The mom died in the story, like you girls always have. The parents are always dead. Snow White, named for her mother's wish, was happy until... the king married a woman who was beautiful and very jealous of others' beauty. She doesn't look that beautiful, actually.
No.
To her magic mirror, she would say...
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
And the mirror would answer...
Oh, queen, I will tell you what you demand. You are the fairest in the land.
Each year, Snow White grew more beautiful and good, and the queen grew more jealous and made her dress in rags and work very hard. Snow White often wished for a prince to take her away to his castle. One day, the queen's mirror said,
Snow White is the fairest in the land.
The angry queen ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and bring back her heart to the queen. But the huntsman told Snow White, "Run into the forest and hide from the queen." He took back to the cruel queen the heart of a wild beast. It looks like maybe a bear.
Yeah.
Snow White was frightened until friendly little animals led her to a cottage. Inside, she found 7 little chairs, cups, and plates, all very untidy. After she had swept and scrubbed, she fell asleep in one of the little beds. Meanwhile, 7 dwarfs had finished working in their gold mines. Arriving home, they were surprised to find everything neat and clean. And Snow White awoke to see 7 little men staring at her and smiling. She told them about the queen, and they asked her to stay with them to be safe. At the palace, the magic mirror said,
Snow White lives and is with the dwarfs. Snow White lives and is with the dwarfs.
Apparently it spoke twice. The evil queen prepared a poisoned apple that would cause a death-like sleep. Then she disguised herself as an old woman and went into the forest. Meanwhile, the dwarf's love for Snow White grew every day. Well, she's like cleaning the house and cooking food for them. I mean...
Duh.
Each morning when they left, they warned her to be careful of strangers. But when an old woman said,
A bite of this apple will make a wish come true. A bite of this apple.
we can say it one time maybe. She forgot their warning, took a bite, and fell lifeless to the ground. The cruel queen ran away and laughed.
Only a prince's kiss can awake her. And what prince will find her here? I am now the fairest in the land.
When they couldn't awaken her, the dwarfs made a glass-covered couch for Snow White. And who wouldn't? If I'd call that well, they were guarding it one day when a prince who had lost his way rode by. The prince thought her so beautiful that he knelt and kissed her. At his kiss, Snow White awoke, and the prince asked her to marry him. The wicked queen was invited to the wedding. Her magic mirror said,
"The prince's bride is the fairest of the day."
When the queen arrived and recognized Snow White, she was furious. She rushed out of the castle and disappeared forever. But Snow White and the prince were married and lived happily ever after. This has been an SVE Sound film strip presentation. Oh, additional recommended SVE film strip series in the field of primary language arts. Animal Friends, Fun on Wheels, Children's Stories, Stop, Storytime Favorites, Children's Classics, Hans Christian Andersen's Fairy Tales, famous elf book film strips.